Yeah, I was gonna come on. Sorry, I didn't realize everybody had already signed back on here, but I was on the radio. So I was looking at a few of the storms, and they grabbed my attention again. So I've decided to leave the live stream up. We are going to leave radar on, and if any warnings do come up, we will jump back in here and start talking. But we're going to leave the radar up and keep monitoring things. So again, it will be quiet. I thought about adding some music in there, but I don't have a track at the moment. But it'll be quiet. We'll be monitoring. If anything does pop up, you'll
Yeah,
you'll
well,
hear
I'm
me
trying to
talking.
get
So
back on TV and everything, but as soon as I get back on TV, I'll get back on
but
my
yeah, that being said, sorry
Facebook.
about that. So we're gonna leave it quiet and be monitoring back here in the back. Okay, so I'll see some comments. Yeah, the audio will be off until there's a warning or something comes up. Right now, there's no warning, but there's some strong activity coming into Marshall, parts of southern Jackson County, and that will be moving into DeKalb County momentarily. Once that big batch of red you see there gets on out of here, our severe threat will be over with, and that watch will be canceled out uh, before the 10 o'clock hour. I'm almost sure of it, but just in case, we'll leave the radar up. And I guess I'll add a note into my text information here. That way, you guys know if you don't hear me talking and you come on, you're wondering what's going on. All right, there we go. Let's see if that fixed anything. But yeah, it'll be quiet. Just going to leave it up just in case I have to quickly jump back in here because you never know with these storms, especially going into the spring. They can be really unpredictable, and you don't have a lot of time to get everything back up. So I'm going to leave it up. All right, everybody, we are jumping back on here due to a special weather statement that's been issued out. Let me go ahead and grab that information up. Of course, it expires in 28 minutes, it looks like. Strong thunderstorms will impact Marshall, southeastern Madison, southwest DeKalb, northeast Coleman counties through 7:30. At 6:46 p.m., Doppler radar is tracking strong thunderstorms over Strawberry, or 7 miles south of Arab, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Hazards, wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour, and pea-sized hail. Locations impacted include Albertville, Fort Payne, Boaz, Guntersville, Arab, Crossville, Fife, Grant, Geraldine, and Holly Pond. There, yes. So Holly Pond. Okay, let's look at the radar real quick. So still watching that line of storms moving across. Currently approaching Albertville. Got some approaching Geraldine, Fife, Rainsville, Powell, Sylvania. Just a big little line. Nothing severe with any of it at the moment. Just some high winds and some small hail. I'm going to look at the reflectivity real fast. So it looks like the high winds are approaching Powell right now in DeKalb County, Rainsville, Shiloh, and Fife. Looks like it's past Langston at this point. If you're in Marshall County, looks like around the Albertville area, starting to get some of that wind. Then eventually Boaz. Some 40 to maybe 50 mile an hour winds, especially the north, up here toward north of Geraldine. There's some really high winds showing up in there.
Station 15, Station 58.
Oh, come on, microphone. Are you serious? Go ahead, Station 58.
Hey, I'm back monitoring the channel. We got a lot of heavy rain here in Henniger, North Fort Ider. A lot of standing water on roadways and on side ditches.
Roger that. We're still watching the line move in. Heaviest is approaching the Fife, Geraldine area. Shiloh, some pretty high winds there. Also Geraldine, about to get some high winds there as this line pushes on. Did you experience anything flooding that might cause a problem or anything?
I mean, not at this time. Just a lot of standing water on the roadway, making travel pretty treacherous. I'll be standing by. I'll be monitoring.
All right, copy that, 15. Thanks. I appreciate the report there. Station 58 will be standing by. If anybody else sees anything, let me know. So getting a lot of reports up toward Ider. A lot of standing water in the roads, making it a little bit dangerous to be traveling. So use caution if you're out there traveling, especially in all this heavy rain that's coming through. That was just a report through our network there. So really heavy rainfall now, getting into the Powell, Rainsville, Shiloh, Fife area, even Geraldine. You're going to have some high winds with that, maybe even some small hail embedded in there, maybe some 40, 50 mile an hour gust as that moves on through. That is going toward Fort Payne, so be ready. Lots of heavy rainfall, so you're going to be having problems driving. There's also a lot of reports of water standing on the roads, ditches, being pretty much filled up. All that good stuff, but the main concern is going to be the water on the roadways. So be careful if you're out there driving. Give yourself plenty of time to get where you need to go. This is KO4FUN monitoring. So still seeing a pretty decent line of some very high winds, is what I was trying to say. A very decent area of high winds approaching Geraldine and Fife. So if you guys are in those areas, Geraldine and Fife, you got some really high winds. Even Powell and Rainsville and Shiloh, y'all got some gusty winds coming in with that. Probably going to be a very nice shelf cloud. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see that or not, but there's more likely a nice shelf cloud associated with this. And I am keeping a very close eye on it. The way some of these lines are bowing out, some of them's got notches. I'm keeping a close eye on that to see if any rotation develops in any of them. But so far, at this second, I'm not seeing nothing that's very concerning other than the wind. But I do get concerned when I start seeing stuff like this. A little bit of a notch right there near Fife. I'm watching that. Again, just something I'm watching. It's not tornadic yet. Nothing like that. Hopefully it don't get that way. Another little area I'm watching here near Albertville. But again, so far, looks like it's behaving. On the next scan there, that looks a lot better. So you have to watch those little notches because they can sometimes produce tornadoes very quickly. Where you get especially broken line segments and stuff like that. So it looks like the highest winds now are past Albertville, approaching Boaz. Very high winds on Geraldine right now, approaching Crossville. Very high winds in the Fife, Shiloh, Rainsville area, Powell, going up towards Sylvania. Still keeping a very close eye on this.
Station 58 and Station 26, I just got a message from a really sweet lady, a friend of mine. She's like an aunt to me. She said it's raining hard and a lot here, and she lives right there off of Rose Road, right before you get to Alder Spring.
Roger that. Thanks for passing that along. Right now, I'm watching this line moving across Fife and Shiloh, Rainsville, some high winds there. Around Geraldine, some high winds. Albertville, Boaz, getting some high winds. Crossville shortly. Then Fort Payne. Looks like Rainsville's getting in on that now. Sylvania, probably going to get some of the wind as well. But looks like the highest of the wind is hanging out anywhere along the line from, we'll say, Powell all the way southwest to Boaz. Even all the way down south as far as Mountain Borough and Whitesburg, and all the way into Altoona currently.
And
really hard in Geraldine, yeah, I'm not surprised the way that line's bowing out a little bit.
Yeah, her name is Tony Smith.
Very bad driving Geraldine to Albertville. I'm not surprised. That's some pretty high winds coming across right there. I'm going to say 40 to 50 miles per hour. It's very nasty in Fife. Christy Chandler watching at Skirm. Thank you. Good to see you on. Station 50, which is TY, he said he was mobile, but I have no clue where he's at this point. So far, the only reports we've really had are high winds and rain, water standing in the roadways. And we are starting to get those winds here at the station now. See if I can move my camera real quick and capture some of this. And there we go. And those winds are currently coming in really heavy. Yeah, getting some pretty decent wind right now. All right, now we got 21 miles per hour out of the north. Wow, we're getting some really high gusts now. There's our camera. I was wondering what was going on with it. And our tower is really moving out there. 26 miles per hour out of the north currently. 30 miles per hour out of the north currently. At Station 58, we got very high winds here at the station. Measured 30 miles per hour out of the north currently. And lots of lightning and rain. So yeah, it is just absolutely getting just hammered out there right now with rain.
I could tell that by the camera. And I'm trying to figure
So yeah, some really high winds and rain coming through here. I'm going to switch cameras and we'll look at our next camera. Pretty much the same, just absolute getting hammered by rain. So that is our current view outside the station. Thank goodness I'm inside. All right, we'll bring the radar back up. So it looks like our highest gust so far was 30 miles per hour out of the north. So that was an absolute gust of 30 miles per hour out of the north. So that's good. I wouldn't doubt to be hearing some reports of some trees down as that's coming through. Let me switch this back off to since everything's looking fairly decent.
KO4VDF. Anybody give me a radio check?
KO4VDF, it's KO4FUN, you're making it.
I got
Yeah,
you
it was
checked
so
in
small.
now. I'm looking for some early check-ins. It's nasty up here on top of the mountain. Anybody out there want to do any early check-ins for the net tonight?
Come in here, make sure you was okay, Aunt Betty.
This is KO4FUN, and just put me down as short time, and I'll check in. Name's Chris, located in Crossville.
Hey, Chris, we got you short time. Anybody else out there want to do early check-ins? Or the storm is too bad?
So it looks like the highest of the winds are now starting to move off to the east. Still getting some really high winds.
401PX. Okay, I got you short time.
So some really high winds, still getting about 22.8 miles per hour now out of the north-northwest.
This is session 26. I'm going to step out the office right quick to get something. I'm starving.
Copy that. Go ahead, and I'll have you checked out at 7:16 p.m. Station 26, Station 58.
My phone in there with me so I can, listen to music.
Good thing is no severe gusts yet, but my goodness, it is definitely coming down out there. We'll look at the camera again. I can actually feel our house shaking just a little bit. Oh my gosh, that lightning was so close. So that's what our camera's mission is, pretty much what we're doing with them right now. If we have a severe storm or something come through, we're able to view them on the cameras, and we're getting some pretty good wind gusts still coming out of the north. Oh my goodness, that was so close. Jeez. I think I'm going to unplug my antenna for just a minute, everybody, so stand by. That was pretty close. All right, so I had to shut some of my devices down. That lightning strike there was a little bit close to home, so I'm unplug the antenna to hopefully remove any static discharge that might be built up on it. So heavy stuff continuing to move on through, and my goodness, is it really heavy? It is absolutely heavy. I would not doubt there'll be some flooding, but that being said, let's look at the radar. Again, if you're in Geraldine, you're still getting some gusty winds, no doubt about it. If you're in Crossville, you're getting some gusty winds. Albertville, probably still getting some gusty winds over in Albertville. Fife, Shiloh, Lakeview, all them areas, high winds pushing on through. Pine Ridge, very shortly, some high winds. And again, there is a special weather statement in effect still for another 24 minutes. Some 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail possible. Areas impacted would be Albertville, Scottsboro, Fort Payne, Boaz, Guntersville, Rainsville, Henniger, Crossville, Sylvania, and Fife areas. Again, nothing severe showing up, but we do have a report from a storm spotter. Some wind damage. Looking at what EMA attached a note here. So getting reports of a few trees down due to gusty winds in the Blount County and Altoona, Blountsville, and Brooksville area. That's per the Emergency Management Agency over there. But overall, this slowly getting on out here. Our severe threat is coming to an end as these storms push on off to the east. And looks like the heaviest rainfall now around the Rainsville, Pine Ridge, Fort Payne area. See a little bit of a bow out on there. So there's going to be some at least 50-mile-an-hour winds with that, 40 to 50 around Pine Ridge, Fort Payne. Y'all are next in line with that. So definitely some high winds going to be coming in with that in the Fort Payne area. Zoom a little bit closer forward. Lebanon area, Colburn, Portersville, Hughes Mill, Pine Ridge, Douglas, Dogtown, Lickskillet, Adamsburg, Douglas, Loveless area, Mount Vernon, and I think I said Portersville, even Collinsville. So some really high winds going to be coming across with this and very heavy rainfall. But the good news is, let's zoom out. and take a look at what we have here. So these watches that you see here for the northwest portion, they will be getting canceled. They should be getting canceled any moment now, considering everything is moving out. So those watches will continue to be canceled, and eventually we'll get ours canceled out here within probably the next, like I've said earlier, hour or more.
Hey, Station 51 to all stations. I have hail in a Roni the size of golf balls in my yard.
Are you serious? Have you got any photos of those?
When this rain quits, I will go get them. That's it.
Go ahead there, other station. So I've got unconfirmed reports of hail close to the size of golf balls in the Aroni area by one of our storm spotters, but I'm not seeing it on radar. Well, I actually do see a little bit of hail, but nothing that should be that big. Do we have anybody else that lives in the Aroni area that could kind of help us out with that? Are y'all seeing anything that large in the Aroni area, or maybe anybody in the Aroni area seeing any hail, any large hail? I know normally I would pass that along right away. But the thing is, I'm not seeing it on radar. I'm not saying that it's wrong by any means. But what I'm saying is I'm not seeing indicators on radar for hail that big. So I'm kind of wondering if it's not over assumption. Like, it looks like it's very large, but I still don't get it. I'm just waiting to kind of get some photos before I speak too much on it. But I don't see a hail core with this line that's big enough to produce golf ball sized hail. I do see a hail core, a little bit of hail, I do. But that looks more like penny to maybe dime to penny sized hail. But I'm not counting anything out just yet. Yeah, I'm looking at radar there, Station 51. I'm not seeing any hail indicators that'll be for hail that large. I'm seeing some that shows maybe dime to penny size hail, but if you got photos, that would be absolutely awesome to see. See, I think I got some photos, as a matter of fact.
Station 15 to Station 58.
Go ahead, 15.
Hey, go look at your radar. One in Etowah County, right there around Reese City. Look at your storm relative velocity. See if yours is showing up any indications that's a little bit stouter than mine.
Roger that, I'll do.
Station 26 and Station 58 are back in office now.
Roger that, Station 26.
Yeah, there's something around Whitesboro starting to pop up right there.
Now, I did see what looked like maybe some brief rotation, but what I'm seeing more so is very high winds along that line there near Reese City. It's bowing out a pretty good bit.
Station 15 received that. Yeah, it seemed like it kind of leveled out now, but there were some pretty good couplets there touching each other on that last scan I had.
Roger that. Were you using Huntsville High Top or Birmingham?
I'm on the Huntsville High Top.
Roger that. Yeah, there is some weak rotation with it. I see the earlier scan where it did look a little bit stronger, but it looks like mainly just damaging winds at this point. But yeah, I do see what you're talking about there. I'm zooming in on it, taking a look at that. Yeah, they did get pretty close together there at one point, just so that the northeast or east of Reese City. So looks like there was a little bit of rotation there. I've got so many people writing me, guys. Bear with me, and I'm trying to operate here. All right, so I'm still in the background looking at radar. I'm looking at several different scans and different. Yeah, I see what he's talking about. Right here is what he's referring to. And I'm not going to definitely say that is rotation. It is pretty close together, the couplets there, but the thing is, I think that's going to be more rolling than actually rotating. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's more of like rolling instead of actually rotating counterclockwise or clockwise. But still, definitely going to keep an eye on this line here. So it looks like now it's mainly going toward Collinsville and Fort Payne areas. Looks like the heaviest wind now going it's crossed Collinsville going toward Powell and Fort Payne. So get some high winds there, some heavy rain. Once all that pushes out, then our severe threat will be pretty much over with. But if I could get some photos of that hail, that would be amazing. I'm just looking through my chat here to see if anybody's reported anything. Okay, you got strong winds in Collinsville right now. So it looks like we're getting close to being finished here. Again, that hail report, I still can't confirm it. I had a person in that area of the Rodentown area and asked if they seen any hail, and any large hail, and they said no. So I'm not sure what is up with that, but I will find out. But yeah, Station 15 and Station 58, I want to throw out to you. I think what we're seeing there toward Reese City, or actually east of Reese City, going toward Hoax Bluff and Ball Play, I believe that's going to be more or less rolling going on instead of counterclockwise movement. And that could be due to us viewing so high up. I know Huntsville High Top's pretty far away. So we're beaming up pretty high up into that storm. I think there's going to be more rolling motion going on there than rotation, but there still could be some rotation in it, no doubt.
Station 15 copy that. Yeah, I think so also.
Roger that, 15. Thanks again. Looks like Fort Payne again getting some of this, and it's slowly moving on out of here. So right now our eyes are on the Powell area, Collinsville, and the Powell I'm talking about is going to be the one near Sandrock. It seems like there's 2 Powells in DeKalb County. I never even realized that, but look at that. 2 Powells. Probably what we're getting, just rain, storms, and wind. Had a good bit of wind come through, but not seeing anything really. Collinsville is not clear yet, but you're about to be. So let me start. There's parts of County Road 19 section water going across it. Thank you, Chris Mayhall. County Road 19. Station 58 got a report on our network, or actually on live stream, sorry. Reports of parts of County Road 19 is section with water going across the roadway. JCEMA, I ain't sure if you're still in here, but did have a report come across the live chat. Parts of County Road 19 is section, water going across it.
Received. Did they say how deep it was?
That's negative, not at this time. Chris Mail, how deep would you estimate it was? You estimate a few inches, a foot, you know? Like, what would you estimate it to be? How deep would you think that would be? Checking in from the ER. Thomas, what are you doing in the ER? I'll have to get a hold of you here in a minute and find out what's going on. So, yeah, there could still be some flooding out there. EMA is literally waiting on me to let them know how deep I think that is. Or, you know, if the person said, which, of course, they didn't. So, maybe they can get some crews out there to check that out. All right, so let's start clearing count and start clearing people and giving them the okay. I am watching a little rotation right now. Just noticed that popped up. Let me get my scan back on here. So we do have a little bit here trying to develop. We're going to watch that. And that is going to be south of Lickskillet, which is exiting our county. And again, it's just something I'm watching because of how close together those are. And I do see some brighter colors starting to show up right there in that area, so I'm watching that. So let me start clearing areas. So if you're in Crossville, and let me back up and make double sure before I say this. Just want to double check and make sure there ain't nothing else back here that I have missed. And I'm going to go all the way back to Little Rock, Arkansas, just to make sure there's nothing back there either. Okay. All right, so I'm pretty confident now. All right. If you are in Marshall County, your severe threat's over. Mainly just going to be some heavy rainfall, that type of deal, maybe some flooding. Overall, the severe threat is to the east. I know the severe thunderstorm watch is still showing up, but that should be canceled because there's nothing all the way back to Little Rock, Arkansas. So the watch should be getting lifted shortly if it hasn't already, and I don't believe it has been. If you're in Jackson County, watch for some flooding, but mainly the severe threat is over. Now, if you're in Geraldine, Crossville, Fife, Shiloh, Rainsville, Powell, Sylvania, Henniker, up to Ider, the line's east of you, so the severe threat should be coming to an end. If you're in Valley Head, Fort Payne, Powell, Collinsville, hang on just a few more minutes. It will be out of there. But if you're on in Cherokee County, we got a few viewers in Cherokee County around Sandrock, Leesburg Center, Cedar Bluff areas. Y'all have still got that line moving your way. So I'm showing on radar here where that line is heading. You could have some easily 50 mile per hour winds and some hail anywhere between, I'm going to say P to probably penny size hail. So keeping an eye on that. Looks like it's moving towards Cedar Bluff and Leesburg. Currently. Also Center, you'll be getting it shortly. Areas around Ball Play, a little bit further southwest in Hoax Bluff, Gadsden area getting it, and Glencoe. So you guys getting some heavy stuff down there. Some very high winds with that, up to 50 miles per hour. There is a special weather statement in effect for that. Now, as it moves on to the east, it'll eventually move into Georgia. Looks like around, let's see if I got anywhere closer than this. Looks like Lyerly, Georgia, Chattoogaville, I believe that's correct. I've never said that in my life, but that's where it's headed. Holland, Poetry, Sprite area to eventually move into them too, and then head on toward Rome, Georgia, and even Cedartown, Georgia after that. So, yeah, there's some really high winds coming through. And, yeah, I was just about to say there needs to be a warning out because of how that looks. So now we've changed things a bit. There is a severe thunderstorm warning being issued due to these high winds really starting to pick up. Going towards Cedar Bluff, Leesburg Center, you could have some 60 mile per hour wind gusts and nickel-sized hail out of this storm. The Weather Service has put y'all under a severe thunderstorm warning. To be Birmingham issuing that out for northern Calhoun County, east central Alabama, eastern Etowah County and northeast Alabama, northeastern Cleburne County and east central Alabama, Cherokee County and northeast Alabama. Areas impacted by that 60 mile an hour winds possible and some hail up to nickel size. Areas impacted: Gadsden, Jacksonville, Rainbow City, Attala, Piedmont, Hoax Bluff, Center, Cedar Bluff, Little River Canyon National Reserve, Forney, Center Municipal Airport, Glencoe, Weaver, Leesburg, Reese City, Sandrock, Fruithurst, Edwardsville, Galesville, and Cherokee Rock Village. So some 60 mile an hour wind gusts, very, very, very likely out of that.
New message is received from 58339. Message is Utah, Alabama. Severe thunderstorm warning issued March 9th at 7:39 p.m. Central Daylight Saving Time until March 9th at 8:45 p.m. Central Daylight Saving Time by NWS.
All right, so looks like, let me take a look at the reflectivity. So it looks like we can go ahead and pretty much say the severe threat, if you're in DeKalb, if you're in Marshall, Jackson County, severe threat's pretty much off to the east now. Moving into the Cedar Bluff and Center area, Gadsden, where a severe thunderstorm warning just went up. Some 60 mile an hour winds and some nickel-sized hail possibly as that moves through. And that's going to be along this Bowen line segment here. It's moving into Ball Play. Looks like Center, Cedar Bluff next. Then eventually it'll move on to the east off into Georgia. But a nice little Bowen line segment there. Fort Payne, y'all probably got some pretty good winds there too as that's moving on through. But lots of heavy rain with that. All we've got here behind the line is just some moderate showers, light to moderate. There is a little bit of heavy stuff mixed in, so you may get some heavier stuff too. Once all this passes out or passes on through, we'll be clear other than a few little showers behind it. So I wouldn't doubt to see some flash flooding out of this as it moves through. I'm looking through the chat. Well, that being said, everybody, thanks for watching. We're going to sit back here and look at radar a little longer, but other than that, the severe threats past our area, now moving into Cherokee County and Gadsden area, Etowah County, and I'll push on out. But some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts definitely possible out of that. And just in case we have viewers there, and I do believe we have a few viewers, we'll take a look at this a little bit closer.
Section 58 did say that Marshall County is clear at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like the severe threat's east of our area right now. So yeah, if you're in Cedar Bluff, get ready. Some really high winds coming through. And center area.
They may just ring me. I'll answer. Section 26, stand by.
So it looks like the heaviest now is around Powell and Sandrock area, which radar hasn't updated in a minute. Wonder why it's not updating. And I've been live so long I've about lost my voice between talking on this radio and on here. All right, so I will find out a little bit more on that hail report to see if it was a mistake or something. I'll find that out, but I had no other reports anywhere in the county or previous counties that would be able to explain that. I would like to find out myself what's up with that. So I'll be finding out. It could have been a mistake, but I'll find out. Because some of our members, they are new, but still, that is very serious when you report something that large. So, we'll just figure out what it is. I ain't saying nobody's, being dishonest because I wasn't there. So, not a bit. So it's like Sandrock getting some really high damaging winds right now. Leesburg area and even Center next. Cedar Bluff. Y'all are right in line with it. Y'all should be getting the winds right now. But all right, everybody, that being said, thank y'all for watching. I've got some information I got to find out. But as far as that, we should see these watches canceled. But let me touch bases just to be sure. JCEMA, this is Station 58. Are y'all thinking the severe thunderstorm watches and all that will be canceled here shortly?
Yeah, I think they're just waiting for it to move out of the area at this point, but we've stopped getting damage reports. There's no major 911 calls going on. So we're going to call it a night.
Roger that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and check everybody out, and I'll check you out as well. So thanks for being and participating here, Josh. As always, glad to have you. And we'll go ahead and take the other stations there. When I mention your name, just give your station number, and I'll have you checked out. And we're also going to go ahead and wrap the stream up here. So let me go ahead and do that first. All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate it. I'm going to get out of here. No more severe weather, waiting on the watches to be canceled, but you heard directly from the EMA office there that they're not receiving any damage reports or nothing, so everything's pretty much out of here at this point. So thank y'all all for watching. I do appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe, and hope to see you back again. And again, if you want to donate to me, here's a way you can do that. And please don't send stars because I can't get them. I don't know how to disable that feature on here, but I can't get stars. I can get Cash App though to CAFCWX. You can send that through there. Well, thank y'all so much. I do appreciate you, and y'all have a great rest of your night. We'll see you on the next update. Thanks again, everybody.